Hey guys, Matt here with BuiltRight Industries. Today I'm going to show you how to install the rear seat storage panel, not to be confused with our seat back MOLLE panels, but the rear seat storage panel goes behind the passenger rear seat back. It provides a mounting surface for things like radio, tools, gear, equipment, whatever. Let's get into it. All right, so we've got the kit here. This is a 104027 part number. Obviously, you're gonna have some packaging material. You're gonna have a hardware kit. This hardware kit's gonna have the bracket, 2 small button head screws, 2 larger bolts, and 2 spacers. These spacers are for use in a 21 plus F-Series truck. If you've got an older truck, you may not need those. And then we've got the primary panel here. So that's it, pretty simple kit. All right, so this is a relatively straightforward installation. Of course, you have the 5/32 Allen key included with the kit. On top of that, you're going to want a ratchet and an extension, along with a 10, 12, and 13 millimeter socket. All right, so the first step is going to be to drop the passenger side seat back. There's a little loop over here on the side. You can pull that down. You're going to have access to the space back here. Now, I've already moved the factory jack because I've had it in and out so many times for development of this product. But we've got the factory jack mount in here. It's going to be 3 12 millimeter bolts. So go ahead and remove those. I'm going to do that now, and then we'll start the installation. All right, so we're not going to be reusing this mount or the hardware that's associated with it. So throw that hardware in a bag, set this aside for a later date. A quick note too regarding that factory jack. Obviously, you are removing the factory jack. A lot of our customers that are doing this are also carrying an off-road jack or similar in the back of the truck, but just something to think about or be aware of is that you are not going to have your factory jack in the factory location after you install this product. All right, so the next step is to use a 10 millimeter socket to loosen but not remove this piece of hardware here. We just need enough space to slip our bracket behind there. I think this bolt's actually captive. You can't remove it all the way, but we'll just go something like that's plenty. All right, so this bracket is designed to slip up and under here. You can see it jogs closely around this. So in a newer truck, you don't have to trim this insulation or felt here. On some of the older trucks, sometimes you do need to cut a little slot in this, depending on how tight this fits to the bracket. But in this case, we're just fine here. I'm not gonna totally tighten this down, but what we're looking to do is have these 2 holes be roughly horizontal, but the bracket's gonna self-center as we tighten it down. Okay, so what we have here is the main panel. Now, depending on the year of your truck, this part of your installation is going to be a little bit different. On older trucks, earlier trucks, there's 2 pins where you're going to set this down in and then slide it. It'll be obvious once you have this access to this space if you got one of those trucks. On a newer truck, this happens to be our 24 Raptor build. We don't have that, so there's nothing down there but some threaded holes. That's where we're going to use those spacers right here, and then the included hardware. So it's all pretty obvious once you're in here, but that's just kind of the high-level explanation of it. Regardless, the next step is that I'm going to attach this main panel to the bracket that we just installed using the included hardware and Allen key. Be careful not to cross thread these. Sometimes there's a little bit of powder coating in the threads. That one went in just fine. This one should do the same. All right, so one thing, I was having a little trouble getting these 2 bolts in. I loosened up this bracket, which is going to take some tension off this, the BuiltRight bracket here, and should make this a lot easier. All right, so with that, I got this in, no problem. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these down. Snug is fine. Okay, so we're gonna leave this 10 millimeter bolt loose while we finish the installation so we've got some room to maneuver the panel around, and then we'll tighten that down at the very end. Okay, so the next step is we're gonna get these spacers into place. Once you're down here, this is gonna be obvious, but this keyhole feature will sit nicely in the panel. The spacer fits between the bottom flange of the panel and the truck, and then we're just gonna bolt it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So you can see we've got the spacer in place there. It is seated nicely in the panel. So now I'm just gonna muscle the panel around to get this bolt into that first hole, keep it loose, and I'll do the same on the second. Okay, so that started loosely. Slip this other spacer into place here. All right, so with these two started, we're gonna go ahead and tighten these two down before tightening this last 10mm bolt. I think this goes without saying, but if you need to attach things to this panel that you can't attach while it's installed, now is the time to do that. We're not installing anything right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish this installation. So bottom's locked down. I'm gonna finish the installation by tightening this 10mm bolt here. With that, we're all set. You've got some additional rigid mounted storage behind your rear seat here. We're good to go. Okay, so that is it for installing the rear seat storage panel in your F-Series truck. As you can see, it was about a 5 or 10 minute installation. The more time-consuming part might be how you decide to use the panel and configure it. That is up to you. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, please find us in the comments, send us an email, give us a call, find us on our website, chat, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.